Hello and welcome to today's webinar on ways to use digital signage in retail banking. My name is Chris Bailey, and I am a digital and animation specialist here at the Element Group. This is actually our second session of the day, and we saw plenty of great questions and engagement come in, so don't be afraid to join. That being said, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping before we start. If you have any questions at all during today's presentation, please feel free to leave a message in the chat. And if there's time at the end, I'll look to answer as many as I can. If there isn't time, I'll be reaching out to you via email to answer your questions as promptly as possible. And you can always send me an email at chris@everybitmatters.com before or after our session. During the presentation, you'll also notice a QR code sitting in the top right corner of my screen throughout the rest of the webinar. Scanning this will lead to a survey, which you can fill out to potentially win a prize at the end. We do have some pretty nice stuff being given away today, and you can have your pick of either an Apple HomePod or Bose headphones. So make sure to scan if you want to enter. As surveys get submitted, this information is automatically going to be tracked in our CRM, and notification emails will be sent to my team at Element letting them know who has been filling them out. This information is also going to be sent directly to my presentation, as you can see on screen, and you might see me come back to this slide in a little bit. As these survey submissions come in, an automation pushes that data to these 6 graphs on screen, which are actually running from our touchscreen software. I'll be selecting a randomly generated winner at the end by picking through a deck of shuffled cards, as exampled by this video of the presentation on one of our touchscreens in the other room. Like I mentioned before, scan the QR code and fill out the survey to enter and possibly win. But with that out of the way, today we'll be talking about some new and more efficient ways to use digital signage in a retail space. My topics include utilizing QR codes on digital signage, developing templates that run for variable amounts of time, social media automations, and a sneak peek at some of the integrations we're working on here at Element. A little bit of background on myself. I originally went to Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester, Massachusetts for interactive media before transferring and graduating at Northeastern University in Boston for digital art and animation. And since I graduated in 2020, I've been here at the Element Group. At the Element Group, we help design and transform financial institutions across the country. While we're headquartered in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, we have additional offices ranging from North Carolina all the way to Utah. Whether it's a new build, a remodel, promotional merchandise, or digital messaging, our goal is to increase profitability, customer or member loyalty, and efficiency for operations at financial institutions. As far as our digital suite of services goes, our company comprises both traditional digital signage as well as touch technology. And as you're probably aware, when I mention digital, I'm referring to how information gets shared, distributed, and digested. Traditional digital signage refers to push content on commercial grade, horizontal or vertical screens and video walls. This will be our main focus for our session. Now, one word I've seen thrown around everywhere these days in the financial world is omnichannel. And if you've never heard of this word, that's all right. It's not officially in the dictionary. An omnichannel experience refers to a cohesive experience for your customers or members where the service feels seamless between whatever channels your institution is operating with. In other words, the experience should feel the same from a teller line to an ATM to an ITM to a website visit to a mobile app or anywhere else your audience goes. When we think about this in terms of digital signage, it can feel almost a little abstract and sometimes really difficult to do consistently well. But there are tools we use at Element to help automate your signage and integrate different channels together to make your signage essentially create an omnichannel experience for you. The first and potentially simplest way we need to look at using digital signage is through QR codes, which is why I have one running in the webinar right now. When I was in high school, QR codes were kind of a fad. I thought they were gone for good. But since 2020, suddenly QR codes are cool again. Think about it. Every restaurant I go to now requires you to scan a QR code to access the menu. They've kind of become the norm. And a really simple way to utilize a QR code is to have it lead to a survey or sign up form, just like this presentation. Adding properties like a contact's name, email, or phone number can capture that information and bring new leads into a campaign automatically. And at Element, we actually use that tracked data to send automated emails to these contacts and push that information to our marketing team as well as our digital screens. This process was taking place as you initially signed up for today's webinar. And as an example, I had a hand in helping one of our partners, Hawaii State Credit Union, who I believe is on the call today, develop a QR web form for an event happening at Aloha Stadium in Honolulu. Contacts would fill in their information and receive an automated email back dependent on their membership with the credit union. Non-members would receive a little more information on current promotions. We saw around 115 contacts fill out the form, with 68% of them being non-members at Hawaii State. On top of that, all but a few included their phone number, something that wasn't even required on the form to submit. And over the last 7 months, we've helped develop 10 other QR web forms for events like Aloha Stadium or even home shows. We've seen about 1,400 total submissions, with over 50% of these still being non-member contacts at Hawaii State. And in my mind, I see this as an unlimited opportunity. A commercial-grade digital screen can run 24/7 and will never take breaks. So why wouldn't we use this space for capturing new leads? By simply adding a QR code to your playlist with the right call to action, you could be capturing lots of new contacts every day. And a display isn't limited to being behind a teller line. It could be in a window within an in-store branch at a grocery store or at another partnered business like a coffee shop. It's so fundamentally easy and inexpensive to do and can pay for itself with just one of those new contacts. In a window digital display, like this example with Popular Bank in New York, we looked at using a QR code to help potential customers lock in additional basis points on CD specials by filling out a form. Additionally, we could offer to give away a promotional prize for locking in and have someone come back into the branch to receive it. An automated email would go out to these contacts, letting them know they have 2 weeks until the offer is no longer good and what branch they can visit to pick up a prize and open an account. Thousands of people walk around cities in New York every day. By having your digital signage capture data using a QR code, we can open new accounts, spread brand awareness, help out our customers or members, and get leads to come back into your branch, all through automations doing the work for you. We're also not limited to having QR codes lead to surveys or forms. They can lead directly to your website, to videos, downloadable PDFs, social media link trees, your mobile app, reviews, coupons, Wi-Fi, SMS signups. So much is possible and accessible using a QR code in your digital signage. And speaking of QR codes, I'm just going to take another quick look at our statistics with the QR code running today. It looks like so far 7 people have signed up, 6 using Spotify. No surprise, Spotify tends to be the most popular one, likely the most popular streaming service out there. Interestingly, we have Deezer, which didn't come in the first session of today's webinar. Love to see that. And just as a reminder, at any point during the webinar, you're welcome to scan the QR code above me and fill out our survey to win a HomePod or Bose headphones. And I might be moving a little fast, so don't be afraid to ask any questions at any point, or if you would like me to go back and go over anything again at the end. Now, I understand that digital signage can be a pain to regularly update, especially when you're trying to keep the experience for your customers or members seamless. Let's talk about different ways we can create and schedule templates to host your messaging and maintain an omnichannel experience through your digital signage. Digital templates are a feature used in our digital signage software that can let you design content zones. Content zones can be used for playlists that you build, as well as static text, geographic shapes, backdrops, overlay images, or live data. All of the different automations we look at today can be implemented into a content zone with custom settings depending on what those automations are outputting. For example, we could display time or a weather feed, news, or promotions in real time to our content template. Templates can also be scheduled or run on data triggers as well. If we had a template with a backdrop or skin surrounding a season like summer or maybe the winter, or a holiday like, I don't know, the 4th of July, we could easily swap the background out for a new one or have the backdrop automatically swap out on a specific date. If we use data triggers, we can make templates run depending on what data is sent its way. If we receive a specific notification from HR, for example, we could have a different template play to share that information. This can also be used for things like social media. And one thing I've heard time and time again is the difficulty of sharing social media. It's like doing the same job twice, right? You make a post to Twitter, but now you have to remake that post on your screen. How do we take something like this and efficiently keep these messages updated as part of our omnichannel experience? Well, that can be automated as well. And the social media feed or Instagram feed I'm showing you on screen is actually automated to my presentation and updates every minute or so. So I can actually scroll through these posts to show you elements 3 latest. Integrating your social media to your digital signage is a crucial time saver. And on top of that, helps keep all of your digital signage one-to-one with all of your social media channels. And in fact, we can even take this a step further and create a dashboard where all of your messaging goes. Why rewrite a post 5 times to go out to all of your social media and digital signage channels? You could simply write it once and push it to all of your channels at the same time. I'm going to show you an example we were looking at with Popular Bank in New York. This is a digital dashboard where essentially any message can be sent out from your fingertips. If you needed to send an HR message to the back of the office, you can do it right here. If you needed to display that specific branches were being closed or had a late start, you could do it right here. If you needed to access your content manager, you can find it linked at the bottom. Everything can be neatly packaged into one place and turn 5 to 10 processes into just 1 or 2. And this is an example of an actual touchscreen experience receiving that data. You can see on the bottom left that several messages have been prompted from the dashboard, and actually one is popped open in the middle, showcasing a message from January talking about a presentation I did with a similar topic. If you keep a company calendar, this is another type of message that can be automated to your digital screens. Employee birthdays or work anniversaries, community events, company meetings or holidays, all of these can be displayed in real time via your online calendar and presented differently depending on the type of message. Again, why do the same process over and over when you can do it once and have it appear cohesively across all your channels? At Element, we use this exact birthday template on square screens in our office. When an employee's birthday comes up on our calendar right at midnight, a data trigger tells our content manager to play a happy birthday slot until the day ends. We also use the same style of automation for our own employee anniversary announcements, marketing announcements, and event announcements like going live for a webinar. And last, a new automation we've been looking at is company reviews. Now, obviously, we need to be really careful about posting these. You wouldn't want a 1-star review that came up one time on Yelp blasting across your network, but we've looked at ways to prevent this. The automation running to my screen right now is one I worked on with Avidia Bank in Massachusetts, where a line of code is actually referencing and preventing a list of bad words from Facebook. And artificial intelligence is scrubbing each review for negative language, profanity, or potential scams. On top of that, only 4 or 5-star reviews are allowed to ever run through the automation. We'll never see a negative review appear on this feed. Now, these are all effective ways we can be utilizing our digital signage more efficiently today. But real quick, before we give away a prize, I'd like to show you some of the other integrations we've been working on at the Element Group. I'll briefly go over demographic recognition software, rate signage automated from website pages, and integrating in-branch data to digital signage. And as an FYI, these are all in progress, so development isn't complete yet. As a follow-up FYI as well, this could be some of your last chances to scan the QR code and sign up to win a prize. The first piece of our roadmap is recognition software, and I apologize if the camera flipping right there was a little off-putting. Adding a webcam to your experience can help determine what demographic is visiting your retail space. And as you can see on screen, it's pretty accurate. I'm being tracked as a 20 to 30-year-old male in real time right now. This could be useful as a background data tracking tool when people view digital brochures or promotions. Additionally, we can use this software to change the suite of services provided by our digital based on what data is being recognized. If someone like myself approaches a screen, different promotions can appear to tailor to me. I'm a young guy. I'm not really looking to get a loan on a house right now, but I might be looking at auto loans or have questions about other rates. We can automatically use this real-time data to target demographics in our branches and provide meaningful information accurately and automatically. Another one we're looking at is automated rate pages. Like I've talked about throughout the webinar, it can be really difficult to constantly update messaging every single day. And when I think about things like mortgage rates, yeah, that's something that needs to change constantly. We're currently looking at ways to automate rate pages directly from a website and update that data to digital screens in real time, effectively only making that edit happen once. And the last item on our roadmap that I'll talk about today is getting your traditional digital signage to integrate and react with data being captured within specific branches. And I know that's a mouthful, but imagine if someone opens a brochure about home loans on a touchscreen, suddenly more information about home loans begins to appear in your traditional signage playlist. Or maybe you're finding a lot of people are renting around a specific branch via data you've been capturing with QR codes or promotions. We can automate the digital signage in that branch to say, hey, let's show something a little more targeted to our audience. Or maybe we should show promotions about preparing for home loans in the future rather than promotions about reverse mortgages. All of these things are in our plans for Element's future. And now that we've covered some of our upcoming integrations at Element, I'm going to take one quick look at our statistics again. And it looks like we have 10 signups now. Spotify still winning by a landslide. Again, no surprise there, but we do see a new one under Apple Music. I think it's time to give away a prize. Now, using our touchscreen software, we've turned the data we've collected during today's survey into a game based around the cards you just saw shuffle on the screen. Gamification is a term we use at Element all the time. It's something we use as somewhat of an incentive on digital screens for customers or members to sign up for promotions or offers. How nice is it to have someone enjoy a fun game, earn a prize, and also potentially extend your brand identity outside the four walls of your branch with a promotional item? This type of content is exciting, memorable, and fun. All excellent qualities that lead to engaging digital and an experience your customers or members will appreciate. Now, I'm going to pull 5 cards from the deck, and of course, in card game fashion, I'm going to burn the one off the top. Each of these has a random submission underneath. On the back of each card is one name and one music streaming service that someone has picked. And only one of these will be today's winner of either an Apple HomePod or a pair of Bose headphones. I'm just going to pick a random one here. I will go with this one. And there we have it. Today's winner is Bonnie from Hawaii State, who can now use her choice of either a HomePod or Bose headphones to listen to Spotify. And Bonnie, your choice has already been pushed to our CRM, and our team has been notified to make sure that you get your prize as soon as possible. Thanks for taking the survey. And it looks like we do have a little time to answer some questions in the chat. So let me pop open Zoom and I will take a look. All right. So I have one question here about iPads. Will these workflows work on an iPad? And I guess short answer, yes. We can get this kind of automation working on iPads. Long answer, variably. There are limitations to what can be pushed to an iPad and what can't. Um, but I would argue that most of what I've shown you today should work on an iPad, maybe minus facial recognition. Another question, what kind of calendars would work? And I'm assuming that's referring to automating events from your calendar. Hopefully that's right. Uh, Outlook will work for scheduling automations from your calendar to a digital signage screen. Google will work as well. And I'm almost positive that essentially any online calendar should do the trick. Personally, we've only tested Google and Outlook, but as long as it has an open API feed, it should be all right. To add on to that, if you have events scheduled in a CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce as well, that should do the trick. And I will give a moment to see if any more questions pop in the chat. Doesn't look like it. Oh, one came up. Do you design these for your customers? Yeah, I would argue likely 50% of our clients have content designed or managed by the Element Group. And I believe in total, we have about 1,000 screens in the field. So yes, we are totally able to design and build out the functionality of these different templates and automations for your digital signage. Absolutely. Any other questions? Give it another second here. I don't believe there's any more. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me today to talk about digital signage. Again, I'm Chris Bailey. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any new questions or if there's something you'd like us to tackle for digital. My email is chris@everybitmatters.com. We're also always looking to research and develop new solutions. So if there's something you want us to take a look into, let me know. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day.